welcome to another training sponsored by Finance Agents. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. I'm glad that you were able to register and were able to make time for this particular training. Now today we're going to be discussing building bridges. Now that sounds kind of, corny if you think about it. We're going to be discussing building bridges. You hear that all the time. You don't want to burn bridges. You don't want to, take a relationship and have that disappear. So what do we mean by building bridges as far as Finance Agents is concerned? Well, what we're talking about is the ability for you as an agent to bring on other agents below you so you can bring and sponsor them for this same opportunity that you are enjoying. Now, as a finance agent, you have the ability to refer in all sorts of types of leads for different funding programs. And from those programs, you're able to be paid out a certain commission for those referrals. Now, currently, the model is you send in a deal and you end up getting, paid on that particular deal when it comes in, right? Okay, so what happens if I told you that you could increase the amount of money that you're making just by bringing on other individuals? And the great thing is, you don't actually have to do anything other than bring them on. So you're sending in deals and you're making a certain amount. You're making 10, 15, 20%, whichever level you're at. And we'll go into that in a little bit more in just a moment. But what if you bring on additional people and they submit deals? Well, now what you're able to do is you're able to have a certain amount of money that is made off of those individuals. They make the same amount of money as they did previously. But now you're making even more. Now, how does that work? Well, so I could go over the top 10 reasons, why you should bring on agents, increasing your visibility, increase the overall number of leads coming through, you can target more regions that way. But realistically, it comes down to the number one reason, which is to make more money. That's why you want to bring on additional agents, is to have that possibility, that opportunity to increase the amount of commission that you're making while decreasing the amount of money you have to spend on lead generation. So how does this work? How does this great plan work? Well, it's actually very simple. So right now, as you know, we have 3 levels: standard, recruiter, and executive. Now, standard, recruiter, and executive, all 3 of these levels can bring on agents below them. However, only the recruiter and executive agents are able to make that 5% sponsorship override. So why is this important? It's important to note that even as a standard agent, you can start bringing in people. You can create a base of individuals, of new agents, that when you decide, hey, I've got 20 people that are submitting deals, it's time to make that jump. It's time to go to recruiter, executive. You now have that 5% sponsorship, 5% sponsorship override on deals that those agents supply. Now, also to point out, revenue-based advances work on a slightly different commission structure. So if you're a recruiter or executive, you're making 4 or 5 points on the deal. As a sponsor, you would make a half a point on that same deal. Now here's something to also remember. As a recruiter or executive agent, when that sponsorship override is paid out, it's not being taken out of your sponsored agent's commission. They're still going to get the 10, 15, or 20% of whatever they're doing at whatever level they're at, or 2, 3, or 4 points. That doesn't come out of yours. You will always get 5% or 1/2 point dependent upon the program. Now we'll go over more about how to get to recruiter and executive later. So, all right, great. I'm going to make more money. I can make more money. Where do I go to find these new agents that are going to make me more money? That's an excellent question. In fact, it's as simple as looking in your own backyard. Some people in your family would be potentially a good fit, especially if you have people who deal with, businesses. They've, email marketing. They're maybe already in the industry. They have an email database, those sorts of things. You can also talk to friends, people coworkers as well. People that you interact with that may be in this particular industry would be an excellent fit, and it's a great place to start. You can even use them as guinea pigs to create a pitch talking about becoming an agent. Because let's be honest, they will be unabashedly honest with you if it's a good pitch or a bad pitch. But the nice thing is they're still going to love you at the end of the day. You can also leverage your social contacts, people on Facebook, your Twitter followers, if you have followers, and your LinkedIn contacts. These are all locations that are very easy and very simple to mine to bring new agents in. And let's say you happen to go on vacation. You can talk to people you don't even know about this possibility, this opportunity. In fact, last year I was out in Florida, down in Fort Lauderdale. I was out there just, for a vacation. And I happened to be talking to a person. There was a restaurant. It's called the Red Parrot restaurant. It's out in Fort Lauderdale. And it just happened to come up. It was the waiter. I was talking about what I did. And he became very intrigued, very interested. He actually signed up as an agent. So these are the places that you can go. As long as you keep it top of mind, you have that opportunity to generate agents. Restaurants, pubs, even clubs. You're sitting around talking to a group of people. You can bring it up. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the first thing you bring up. It'll be a little awkward, a little odd. But as the conversation goes on, especially when it turns to, so what do you do? What's your job? What do you do? You can bring it up at that time. And then also business trips. If you're taking any business trips, this is an excellent place. Not only, random people that you're talking to, but the reason why you're going on that business trip. Who are you visiting? Could potentially be an excellent group. It doesn't have to be individuals. You can bring a group of people on to submit and refer leads. And the nice thing is, they're going to do the marketing for you. They're going to refer the lead. And all you needed to do was just take that 5, 10, 15 minutes of explanation talking to them about becoming an agent, and you can have that 5% sponsorship override. It's a win-win. So what do you say to these people? All right, so you're talking to somebody. What are the things that need to come up in order to get somebody to potentially sign up or register? Well, the first thing you want to think about is, what made you interested? What were the things that really intrigued you? Was it, the platform, the access to the platform? Was it the commission? Was it the ability, the fact that you can refer leads? You don't actually have to do any of the funding sourcing. You don't have to do any of the invoicing. You don't have to do any of the processing. And what was it that really got you? And talk about that. You can also add in little caveats to it. You can use this as a second income. You can go at your own pace. You set your schedule. If you decide, hey, you know what? On Wednesday, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to work on this. You don't have to. Now, if you want to, work super hard on Wednesday on it, finding leads, that's up to you. You can go at your own pace. We also have an extensive sales support team here at the home office, and marketing tools and training are available in the agent platform. Now, I know that we removed a lot of the videos from training, the available training section. We are adding them back in as we create them. So the newest training should now be up, should be available. I was discussing our business directed retirement account. We also have new flyers and applications in the marketing available documents module in your agent portal. As an agent, you have a tracking system already in place. So you can tell these people, hey, you know what? Anything that you send in is going to be tracked. You can go back in and check and see what leads are there. You can request an update about that particular lead. It's all in one place. And then you also have a relationship manager, somebody you can call up and say, hey, you know what? I was curious about this particular deal. What's going on with it? Or I'm used to doing this type of marketing. How can I improve upon what I'm doing currently to increase the number of leads? You have somebody here at the office that will help you and guide you in the right direction. Oop. Ignore this. I thought I took this out. Yeah. All right. So how do you sign up? How did they sign up? How did you sign up? That's the best question you can ask yourself. What method did you use when you registered? How were you brought on? Now, some of you may have been part of, we used to have a system, and we're trying to rebuild it right now, but we had a system where an email would be sent out to the potential agent, and it would have a link in it, and it would just have them go in and they would create their account from that. It was, a link that was sent out to that particular person. We're having to rebuild that. There were a few complications with it. However, we're making it even better this time. But what can you do now? Well, when you first registered on the dashboard page, there was a section called Marketing Links. Now, you may have chosen a domain. You may have had one already established for you, such as fundabilitytest.com. In any case, that is the particular section you need to look for in your dashboard page to find the link that you're going to use to bring on new agents. As you can see on the screenshot here, to send new agents, to have new agents register, you want to send them to financeagents.com / and in this case, this is the member number used. You need to use your member number, but this is 15285 / sign up. Again, make sure that you use your member ID. It's either going to be a 4 to 5 digit number. Log into your agent portal. You can either copy and paste this direct link, or you can use the button on the right that says copy link. It will copy that link for you, and all you need to do is paste it into your email. I recommend using it in your email signature. That way, then anytime you send a business email or email to anybody, they have that link. If they're interested, they'll sign up. And all you did was just email them. That was it. You can also put this link on LinkedIn or on Facebook or in a Twitter feed. Now that particular link goes to our new sign up page. Now you notice we have a form on there for them to use to sign up. There's also 2 buttons below the fold, meaning the fold is the section that you initially see on the computer screen. And if they scroll down and they hit that one of those buttons to sign up, it's going to take them to that sign up form at the very top of the page. It's okay. So that's how you bring on new agents. That's how you get them into the system. In order to be considered in the system, they need to, create their username and password. Same method that you used as well. Now, I mentioned the fact that executives and recruiters have a sponsorship override over new agents they bring on. 5% or 1/2 point, depending upon the program. So how do you make sure that you're getting that override for bringing on new agents? Well, there's two methods to get that override. The first of which, you can pay to upgrade. It's a for Recruiter, it's a $50 initial setup fee with a $50 reoccurring monthly subscription fee. So the total, the first day, the first month would be $100, and then for every month after that, $50. Now again, we will waive that next month should you turn in a contract. It's only one contract per billing cycle, but you get the next month free. Executive, the same thing happens. However, this time it's a $100 per month subscription. It is a $100 initial setup fee, so you pay $200 out the door with $100 per month after that. But again, if you turn in one contract, you get that next month waived. So in essence, if you're bringing in a contract per month, which makes the Recruiter or Executive plans make sense, you are getting those subsequent months paid for. The second method, and this is the one that I personally like, this is excellent. You can recruit to upgrade. So there's a reason why we named the 15% commission bracket Recruiter. Because that particular group, your job, to bring on new agents. So as a recruiter, every 2 new agents you bring on, you have 1 credit, meaning you get that next month free. Now here's the really interesting thing about how this particular upgrade works. It's an unlimited number of credits. Whereas for the contract, you had 1 per billing cycle. And if you had like 6 contracts, you only got 1 credit. Here, if you were to have 10 agents that you bring on, and they weren't previously in the system, you get 5 months worth at the recruiter level. Now this only works for the recruiter level. If you're a standard agent and you bring on 10 agents, we will upgrade you to the recruiter level. You will have 5 months, because 2 divided by 10, 5. You will remain at recruiter for those 5 months, which means, number one, any deals that you get qualified during that time will be paid out to you should they fund at the 15% level, plus any deals that get qualified and fund during that period from agents that you have brought on will be paid out to you at the 5 or 1/2 point commission. And again, new agents are only going to be counted per month. So for March, every time you get 2 new agents, you will have a credit assessed to your account. If you happen to get, let's say, 7 or 21 in the month of March, and you get 13 in the month of April, that 21st agent does not carry over to the new month. We don't do rollover agents. It's just within that month, and then the next month starts anew. But still, it's an excellent reason to bring on new agents, to get that increased commission level, to have that ability to receive a commission override for marketing and efforts of the people you bring on. Now, how do you keep track of all these agents that you've brought on? I mean, there's obviously got to be some sort of tool. I mean, how are you supposed to know that they completely signed up? Well, as a recruiter, you will have a page that's known as Your Agents. This is also for executives. Now, I've blanked out, or tried to blank out, the middle part, the phone and email. As a recruiter agent, you won't have access to the phone and email, but you will have the agent, the number of contracts they have or have had since they started, and the amount of funding generated by those contracts. This is the best way for you to see, okay, I've got, however many agents. As an executive, let's say you decide to, you know, go all the way to executive, you will also have the phone number and email, because now you are in a position to help monitor and help, you know, increase those performance points for those particular agents you have brought on or sponsored. Okay, so we've gone over a lot of information. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and open up anything to question and answer. If you have any questions, go ahead and type it into the bottom right text box. Do that as we review what we've just gone over. So more sponsored agents means more opportunities, more possibilities. You can't target everywhere simultaneously. It's really difficult. It's really hard. But this allows you to target a specific market and have other agents you bring on that target markets or industries that you're not necessarily going to be going after. The recruiter and executive agents have a 5% override, and you can upgrade to recruiter and executive. One method, you can pay to upgrade, or you can go to recruiter via the two methods, either paying to upgrade or to recruit to upgrade. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we have any questions. Again, if you do have questions, please go ahead and type them into the bottom right-hand text box, and we'll be able to review them on air. So, are they individual recruits only, or can they be a company/group of agents? Yes. Yes to both. They can be either or. In fact, there for a little bit, we had a number of large groups. They used one account to send everything through. They just gave their, I'll call them minions, but their employees, the specific link for them to send out to all of the potential leads. And it went through one account. There were the top heads were able to monitor everything. And we do have methods that we can set up specific for larger groups that allows them to have multi-accounts and be able to view and monitor how those people on the hierarchy are doing. So, but typically you're going to find individuals. But if you're looking for, let's say you're going for brokerages, yeah, we have methods that you'll sponsor them, and we can set it up so they can add on additional employees underneath them, and anything that goes through that account, that group, will be considered you as the sponsor. Okay, so is this being recorded? I would like to go over this again. Excellent question. Yes, every single training that we have, we do record. If we do have any sort of issues or problems at all during the recording of these trainings, we will go back and re-record it off the live training, just so that way then we can make sure that we're presenting the best quality product and training to you as the agents. All right. Minimum number of recruited agents to get override and get recruiter status. Okay, so it's a minimum of 2 new agents. So you could say, your brother and sister, or your best friend and his wife, or her wife, or however you want to structure it. All it takes is just 2 to get that recruiter. Now, some of you may have already brought on several agents back in the month of January or March. We are in the process right now of reviewing all of those new agents and making sure that they're attributed correctly to you. You will be seeing in the coming days, if you did refer in 2 or more agents in the month of January or February, or at this point in March, your recruiter will be, or your level will be going up to recruiter, and you will be assessed those credits. All right, so do recruiter agents have to pay any set and monthly fees? Yes, they do, if they are not actively bringing on new agents. So let's take the example of I'm a recruiter, I'm a standard agent, and I pay to upgrade to recruiter. All right, so I pay a $50 initial setup fee and a $50 the first month subscription fee, which is $50. So I'm $100 that first month. It's kind of like a gym membership, except in this case I get to make money off of it. Well, I mean, like to get commissions, I'll be now, instead of being able to work off the flub I've got. All right, so once you have that level, once you're at recruiter, you can either bring on new agents and have it paid for that way, bring on contracts or get contracts and have it paid for that way, or should you not be able to bring on any, at least 2 new agents per month or at least 1 contract per month or per billing cycle, then yes, that's $50 subscription fee would apply. But it's really not too terribly difficult to bring on new agents, especially if you're somebody who goes out. But again, look at your Facebook contacts, look at your LinkedIn contacts, look at your Twitter followers, if you have followers on Twitter. Those are great places to start to generate this, to generate interest. All right, I've not seen any information on the funding sources. Is your company underwriting the transactions? Yes. Well, we do have underwriters here for specific programs. What we do is we take a look at any new leads that come in. If they do qualify, we'll have them reviewed. We'll give them and assess, what program they potentially qualify for, how much funding that could be for that particular program, and we're not just going to try and throw them into the program that makes the most money if it doesn't make sense. Now, we are going to try and see if they qualify for those particular programs because, well, both yourselves and us are in this business to make money, but we're not going to shove them into something that makes 0 sense, because then you just have an unhappy client, and that potentially can reflect not only on us, but can reflect on you as well. And we don't want that to happen. We want to make sure that we are boosting your visibility in a positive light. All right, so building our team, all our recruits will have to pay for it. I have a team ready, but when I started, there was no cost. I planned to upgrade, but when I started, there was no cost. Okay, so for some groups, there may have been, dependent upon the size of the group, there may have been some negotiation on that part. If you are producing enough deals or bringing on enough agents, it technically is no cost. Now, this is also to point out, if you have, let's say, a large group, let's say 25 individuals working for you, and each one happens to create an account, we could potentially consider that as a sponsorship. But in the same token, they would be listed as independent, not necessarily connected. They would be connected to that large group, but they would have their own account. If we structure it in a way, and this is something that you can discuss directly with your agent relationship manager, there are ways that we can structure it to where that large group gets attributed to you, that sponsorship override gets attributed to you, and they're able to scale their operation as well simultaneously. So again, very interesting question. There's a little bit more to it, more than we unfortunately have time today to discuss. So again, go ahead and get in touch with your agent manager. Their information is on your dashboard page. It should be at the very top of the page. And if it happens to not be there, some people are on an older standard account type. Feel free to give us a call. I'm going to go ahead and put up the main line number here in just a moment. Go ahead and give us a call, and we'll be happy to go and check into that. All right. So it does not look like we have any additional questions at this time. If you do have questions or want to discuss any of these points further, feel free to go ahead and give us a call at our direct line, which is 949-333-0884. If you're in the area, we're in the Irvine area in California, Southern California, feel free to stop in. We're 2040 Main Street. We're on the first floor. When you first walk in from the parking garage, we're immediately on the left. We'd be happy to meet up with you and walk you through the different programs, talk about bringing on new agents. We're always happy to have our agents come in and see us. All right. Well, for everybody here at Finance Agents, I hope you have a great rest of the week. For those of you, if any of you are in school, I hope you have a great spring break. And I look forward to speaking with you next week.